welcome to the stage, Jordan Water! Keep it coming!
Hello everyone. My name's Jordan. I'm going to read some poetry for you today. I've written them when I was bored on trains, and that happens quite a lot because I'm a commuter. I'm going to start with a little warm-up. It's a short one. They don't rhyme, just to let you know. It is intentional. It's about marriage, and you may think, are you married? I'm not married, but they are. They're going to be anyway. Okay, right, it's on marriage. It's called Rebecca, and I really think I've grasped what it's like to be a bride on their wedding day. Rebecca left him at the altar. She was having doubts about whether or not she'd left her hair straighteners on. Right, that was just a warm-up, don't worry. Next one's on a much meatier subject. It's on climate change. I tried to send this to WWF, but they haven't got back to me, so send it if you like it, I guess. It's called Penguins. In search of cooler climates, a group of emperor penguins waddled to the Himalayas. Just going to swap sides. Their route took them through Thailand, where they took shrooms and got matching Mike Tyson face tattoos. There you go. Weird one. This one might be even weirder, just to warn you. This one's on the topic of brothers, and more specifically, Bruno Mars's older brother, who you may not know, but I just tried to get into the mindset of what it's like to be the brother of a very successful pop star. This one's called The Ballad of Fernando Snickers. In the shadow of his younger brother's career, Fernando felt insignificant, like the failure in the family, as you would. So when Bruno got his next number one, Fernando built a canoe and paddled over to the Bermuda Triangle. Luck was on his side, and he was eaten by a monstrous squid. It's a sad one. Okay. Next one's a letter to my granny. She's a texter. We were texting on the train, and it's about her shoulder replacement. It's partly true. Granny Ann got a shoulder replacement. That's the true bit. It was a straight swap with a heavyweight wrestler who also needed one. People didn't mess with her after that. She choke-slammed anybody who didn't pick up their litter or finish their fruitcake. There we go. And lastly, this one's on the topic of sort of the pitfalls of being a pirate. It's called Pirate. Kevin put his hook to his chest and screamed, "Me hearty!" at the top of his lungs. None of his crew took any notice, and Kevin went into cardiac arrest. Thank you.
Oh, Stockwell! Yeah, man, you guys see the famous Stockwell Ninjas? No, they couldn't, they? How to say something. So this fella goes into the hardware shop, he picks up a can of fly spray, he says, is this stuff good for wasps? The fella said, no man, it fucking kills them. I'll never forget the last thing my dad said before he kicked the bucket. He said, watch how far I can kick this bucket. What's the difference between an onion and a chickpea? I've never been pepper sprayed for watching an onion. Hey, all right. We found a vibe. Good. I went to see my neighbour the other day. I said, I'm really sorry, man. I think I just run over your cat. He said, well, shit, are you sure? What's it look like? I said, well... He said, no. He said, what did it look like before you hit it? Oh. Oh, God. I got two nieces, 6 and 1. Stupid names. My other half was doing the crossroad the other day, and she said, what begins with F and ends in K? I said, no, it doesn't. Take your time. My mate Des, I love my mate Des. I love my mate Des. He's great, but he's not the sharpest tool in the box. Yeah, not the brightest button on the blazer. The wheel's still spinning, but the hamster's dead. I could go on. He turned up at a pub the other day with a lump of dog shit in his hand. He said, look what on, and he stepped in. He was a bit late home from the pub that night, partly my fault. And he's making a bit of noise, and his missus shouts down from the bedroom, what are you doing down there? He said, I'm trying to get a keg of beer up the stairs. She said, for God's sake, just leave it down there, do it in the morning. He said, it's too late, I've already drunk it. I saw him in the street the other day, he's walking down the road, he's like this. I said, you're right, Des. He said, I think I shit myself. I said, why are you walking like that? You should be walking like that. He said, I ain't finished yet. You ever tried kicking a pigeon? It's fucking impossible. Anyway, I was in Eastbourne recently. I was in a hotel in Eastbourne. I like a nice hotel. This was a really nice hotel. They had a spa. Oh yeah, well that was me. I was straight down there, pint of milk, some mob knobs. The reason I was there is with my mum and my brothers. We were sort of commemorating the anniversary of my dad's passing. That's another stupid thing people say, isn't it? So when did he pass away? Oh, he passed away 4 years ago, last month. Well, make your fucking mind up. You see, when you get to a certain age, right, the invitations for weddings start going down and the invitations for funerals start going up. Well, which I don't really mind. I quite like a funeral. I do. I prefer a funeral to a wedding. Yeah, simple dress code. Don't need to buy a present. Yeah, it's true. It's true. See, the thing is, my dad, he was a lovely fellow. You'd have liked him. He was a great guy. He used to say, "Now stop that, you'll go blind." I would say, "I'm over here, Dad." He always wanted to be buried in a black suit. That's all he ever wanted. He wanted to be buried in a black suit, but he could never afford a black suit. Couldn't ever afford a black suit. He only had a blue suit. And it happened to be the blue suit he was wearing the day he passed away. Anyway, not a lot you can do about it. So, well, you know. So, anyway, I go to the undertaker's, the day before the funeral just to make sure everything was okay. And the undertaker's there with a nice sort of smile. He says, oh, look at this. And I've looked down, and there's my dad, and he's wearing a black suit. I said, oh, you lovely man. How on earth did you do it? He said, well, funny thing, he said, after you left, another guy came in. And he was about the same age as your dad, about the same size. And he was wearing a black suit. But he wanted a blue suit. So I just swapped the heads. There's a beautiful line from a song by Matt Monroe. And it says, I'll only miss him when I think of him. But I think of him every day. Guys, you've been brilliant. Thanks very much. Cavendish Arms, Dad. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
People say ignorance is bliss, which I never really understood. But I'm alright with it. I went to a strip club last week, and all the strippers were on Zoom. Apparently, since COVID, a lot of them twerk from home. I gave all my sock puppets to my nephew for Christmas, and seeing how happy he is playing with them, it's nice to look and think, I had a hand in that. I'll never forget the day the doctor told me he had amnesia. He said, Charlie... He said, what did he say? He said, you got to have brain surgery, which I wasn't too keen on. He said, you got to have an open mind. So... my granddad lost his tongue during the war, and you could tell it really affected him because he never really spoke about it. The big sea got granddad in the end, which was sad, but I told him you can't swim the Atlantic, so... Grandma passed away shortly after, which was really sad. She had a heart of gold, bless her. But in hindsight, it was probably a mistake getting the gold heart fitted. I got a new girlfriend recently. She left me. Yeah, I should have seen signs, really. All the usual signs, you know. Didn't want to come out with him without me. Didn't want to come out with me anymore. Didn't want to have sex, and started building me harder and harder escape rooms. So I started looking for a new job. Got fired from my old job for working too hard. Because apparently when you're a train driver, it's not appropriate to go the extra mile. I tried being a carpenter, and I made a fence entirely out of thumbtacks, because I heard that attack was the best form of defence. I applied to be a mystery shopper for duvets. It sounded really exciting, because apparently you spent a lot of time undercover. I had to close the power button for short people. I think I set the bar too high on that one. But my career really started to take off when I got a butler. He's really opened so many doors for me.